this big gigantic couch and every subscriber is sitting on it and we're just like watching TV together and hanging out, and I want that to feel this way. So I just watched and did a whole video on Jin's Yours. I won't give any spoilers away if you haven't watched that yet, because I don't know how I'm going to release these. It was literally 5 minutes ago when I finished filming. And now I'm in this mode, because that song sparked a whole thing. And I mean like a whole thing. The song's 4 minutes long. The video's like 30-something minutes. It was like old school Roscoe, just going. Something else, man. That just went, yeah. Anyway, while I was looking for the song on YouTube, I came across Abyss. So I am going to listen to that. And no, I'm not in this full Jin mode. I know Jin's been tapping at the window lately. Junie's a little upset. But it's just sitting right there. Why wouldn't I listen to it, you know? By the way, I'm fully aware I've gone completely out of chronological order. What else is new? This song is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. That don't feel right. But I'm on Bangtan TV. Huh. You know what? Let's do it. So as I said before, I'm going to listen to, which maybe you didn't watch it yet. Here's my plan. I listen to the song, I get the vibe. I just let it wash over me. Check out the lyrics. Listen to the song again. See where the night takes us.
숨을 참고서 나의 바다로 들어간다. 아름답고도 슬피 우는 나를 마주한다. 저 어둠 속에 날 찾아가 말하고 싶어. 오늘은 너도 알고 싶다고, yeah. 아직도 나는 내게 머물러 있다. 목소리 나오질 않고 맴돌고만 있다. 저 까만 거 잠기고 싶어. 가보고 싶어. I'll be there. 오늘도 또 너의 주위를 맴돈다. 너에게 갈수록 숨이 차오르고 넌 더 멀어지는 것 같아. 더 깊은 바다로 들어간 건 아닐까, yeah. 저 바닷속에 날 찾아가 말하고 싶어. 오늘은 너도 알고 싶다고, yeah. 아직도 나는 내게 머물러 있다. 목소리 나오질 않고 맴돌고만 있다. 저 까만 걸 잠기고 싶어. 가보고 싶어. I'll be there. 오늘도 이렇게 너의 곁으로 눈을 감는다.
I have mixed feelings about this one. Let me get the lyrics. Being dramatic, I know. Okay. Jin Abyss. Lyrics. Huh. That's weird. Okay. This is kind of what I needed. So I'm on Dual Set, and I was trying to find lyrics for yours on Dual Set, and I couldn't find them for some reason. But Abyss is on there, so cool. Written by, and it's all capital letters, so I don't know if this is like a group or a company. Bumzu, Bumzu, Jin, RM, and P Dog. So here's what I was hoping for, which is a little bit of context. Because the song as it is, like, again, I don't know the lyrics yet. I don't know the context of the song. And the bar was high because I just listened to yours, which, like I said, sparked the whole thing. This one, 2 minutes, 35 seconds, musically, like, doesn't even come close to yours. There were things that I liked a lot. There were things that I really didn't care for. I'll talk about them. Like, there were choices that I wouldn't have made if I were a music producer. And now I'm not, so take this with a grain of salt. But as I said from the beginning of my journey, I will always be honest with you so that you know what you're seeing is the real deal. Why would we do this otherwise? Anyway, so context. On Dual Set, this track was released 2 hours before Jin's birthday. Now below is his translated note. Hello, this is Jin. Recently during a press conference, there was a time when I said, I don't want to share my sad emotions with the fans because I'd only want to show them good things. However, when it comes to music, it's a different story. Although I don't want to share such emotions through my actions, I think it'd be okay to show the fans some emotions through music. End quote. Okay, now there's a... Oh, wait a second. No. Oh, this is his whole letter. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's more. Forgive me. To be honest, I experienced a major burnout lately, and I think it's because I had many thoughts about myself that I said such a thing. Achieving number one on Billboard Hot 100, getting congratulated by many people, but am I someone who can receive all these? There are many who love music more than I do, who are better with music more than I am. But is it okay that I get to have this joy and receive these congratulations? Those were the thought I had, and the deeper I was submerged in thoughts, the more painful it felt, and that's why I think I wanted to just put everything down. This feels like, end quote for a moment, Roscoe's voice. This feels like what's known as imposter syndrome. I'll get back to that. Back to the quote, Jin's note. I also got counseling on this. Oh, look at Jin getting some therapy. I love it. And made it through each day. I then talked with Bang P. Nim, and he suggested writing a song on this emotion. Great. To him I said, I'm not confident to do a good job, and what if the outcome is not good, and when I'm already at a position where I shouldn't fail? And Bang P. Nim said, such things are not important. But if you give it a try, you'll surely do a good job. I'll look for someone who has a good fit for you. So that's how I met the songwriter, Kai Bomju Hyungnim, and I shared with him my current emotions and many other things. He's a light-hearted, positive person. He said he wanted to help me and brighten me up with his positive energy, saying, let's write about many anxieties. We can always try again if it doesn't quite work. So we talked on many things. He made a track out of my emotions on the spot. I wrote down what I wanted to say, and Abyss was complete. I'd like to say thank you to Kai once again. It's a bit gloomy song that doesn't suit birthday, but I thought it'd be awkward to release this on another day other than my birthday, so I decided to release Abyss on my birthday. Armies, please enjoy this song even if it might be lacking. P.S. To our leader Nim, who wrote the lyrics of the chorus. Thank you. So that's the note from Jin. Pretty powerful. And now, granted, that gives me kind of a new light into the song, but it's I don't know if that's fair, right? It's kind of like when I make a little movie, a video, if I have to explain something manually to the viewer that's watching, that's a no-go. I shouldn't have to say anything. They watch the video, they get all of it because that's how the video is made. I shouldn't have to explain anything. I shouldn't have to provide context that's not enclosed within the video. So for me to then change my opinion of the song based on that note, I don't feel like that would be fair. But the lyrics, that's a different story. So let's see what we get. And then we'll go back to the song, and I'll tell you what I was kind of catching up on. Lyrics for Jin's Abyss. With my breath held, I walk into my sea. I walk into it. I face myself, who is crying beautifully and sorrowfully. Myself in that darkness. I'd like to go find him and tell him that I'd like to know more about you today. Yeah. Still, I remain with myself, with my voice unable to come out. I just circle around him. That dark place, I'd like to be submerged in it. I'd like to go to it. I'll be there. Today as well, I circle around you again. The closer I get to you, the more breathless I become and the farther away you feel. Wouldn't it be that you went deeper into the sea? Yeah. Myself in that sea. I'd like to go find him and tell him that I'd like to know more about you today. Still, I remain with myself, with my voice unable to come out. I just circle around him, that dark place. I'd like to be submerged in it. I'd like to go to it. I'll be there. Today as well, like this, I close my eyes to get to you. I'm a little confused. I really am. Like, I can... The lyrics feel like Jin described in the note. It feels like he sat down and he just kind of wrote how he felt and what he was going through. Now that's what music's about. That rawness. Bravo. But I mean, let's look at this from a complexity standpoint. These lyrics aren't complex. Like maybe they're emotionally complex to Jin personally, or maybe to some of you, these lyrics and this song really like hit you hard. Didn't do that with me. No biggie. But I definitely feel like the lyrics match what Jin was talking about in the note. Abyss is the perfect name for the song. Which is funny because, not funny, but it's very apropos because it's very similar to something I was talking about in yours when I just went Ramblin' Roscoe, hardcore. And I gotta say, like I'm reading through the note again, and Jin says like it's a bit gloomy, but like that's what I had to release on my birthday. I just felt like it was the right thing to do for them. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. So we have the lyrics, we understand what he was going through. Now let's go back and listen to it. And I'll also tell you some of the things that I was digging / not digging. So there's a distortion on this first part that I feel like can set the tone, but then we've got to do something with it. If we hold it through the song, it's got to make sense. And I guess like because we know the tone of the song now from Jin's note, it kind of makes sense, but I think it takes away from the rest of the song. That's my opinion. Listen. So everything except for the strings that are about to come up, everything's distorted. And when the violin comes up, it's crystal clear, which is good. It's like a sign of hope, like clean hope rising up from the abyss. And that distortion could represent or symbolize the abyss, right? Now, the guitar comes in, but there's still this, and the guitar is clean, which is great. Jin's voice is good, but this hanging distortion is like filling this weird void, which I think takes away from Jin's voice and the guitar and the sound that I think they're trying to go for. Now, I could get really deep, and I'm going to, but I don't think it's right, okay? And I'll explain. There's like a flute. It sounds like a synthesized flute, like some kind of synthesizer flute sound in the middle. You know what I mean? Like in the middle, but it still sounds distorted in a way, like just enough to make it feel off. Now that hit that just took place, let me back it up, give it to you again. It's one of the things that I really like. It's kind of hopeful. It's strong. I like that. Ooh, this is one of the things that I love about this song. When he hits these notes, okay, it almost sounds like strained, but like in a good way. Like it's almost painfully strained. Now, without triggering some of you, I'm going to mention Sia, because from all I've heard since I started doing this, everybody was like, whatever you do, don't react to the BTS song with Sia, which I think was on maybe, I'm not sure, but got it. A lot of you are upset. I love Sia. I mean, I've only heard a handful of songs by her, but I think she's brilliant, and I think her voice is incredible. That's my opinion. And we continue, okay? Sia, in the song Alive, when she says, but I'm alive, and she holds that tune, it's like forced, it's strained, it sounds painful, but like in a powerfully good way. And then towards the end, when she does it like one last time, so with this, when he hits these notes, that's what it sounds like. It sounds strained, but in like a powerful way. It's like a painful way, like he's really working it out. Let me back it up. See, now right here, it feels like the distortion has gone away. We had a little harmony in there. We had those painful notes. We've kind of filled the song back in with a lot of clean strings and stuff. 너에게 갈수록 숨이 차오르고 넌 더 멀어지는 것 같아 더 깊은 바다로 들어간 건 아닐까 yeah. 저 바다 속에 날 찾아가 말하고 싶어 오늘은 널 더 알고 싶다고 yeah. 아직도 나는 내게 머물러. Here's what I'll say about this now. knowing the note now and hearing, like, I'm kind of picturing Jin in the studio and doing this like therapy, like he's working some stuff out, right? It feels more powerful to me. But again, I go back to, I don't think that should be the case. It shouldn't require me to know the context of the song per se, necessarily, for me to really fall in love with this, which I feel like the song's growing on me. But I think that's because I know the context, maybe. But again, the bar is really high because yours, wow.
기다 목소리 나오질 않고 맴돌고 많이 있다 저 까만 걸 잡히고 싶어 가보고 싶어 I'll be there 오늘도 이렇게 너의 곁으로 눈을 감는다.
And the distortion's back. And before I go, let me give you my theory about this. It's harsh, right? Okay. I don't think that this theory is correct. But if I were looking at this from an artistic standpoint, I would say one could theorize the distortion, which is prominent in the beginning and the end of the song, but not in the parts where Jin is really working through some stuff, right? And he gets those painful notes. He's in the zone of the song. The distortion's not there anymore. So one could say, before Jin decided to do this, we know how he feels, right? That's why he wrote the note. We know how he feels. He's in that abyss. The distortion is real. It's everywhere. That's what the abyss is. When you go into the abyss, it's everywhere. It's all around you. There's no getting away from it. So the distortion is everywhere. When he begins to get into the song and he begins to kind of like let that out and let it be known, that's the therapy that he's talking about. The distortion goes away because now he's in the zone. But then as the song ends, that abyss comes back. The distortion comes back. And he's kind of right back where he started. But for that time in the middle, the abyss was kind of held at bay. Now, I think that's a really, really deep theory. I think that's me kind of theorizing, if you will, obviously. And I don't know if that's, I wouldn't say that that's, I wouldn't say that's what they were going for. I really don't think that's the case. I think it could work as a theory, obviously. That's why I'm saying it to you and wasting more of your time. But I think if I were to wrap this song up in just a couple sentences, I would say that this song sounds like it's exactly what Jin needed at that moment. That's what I think. And I think the way that it sounds, the way that he sings it, and the lyrics, I mean, the lyrics are, I think, more for Jin than anything. I mean, this whole thing is for Jin. And he releases it, and it'll strike some of us really hard. Some of you will be like, this is my song. This is my jam, and now you have to go, Roscoe. I get that. I understand. But I think that this is exactly how I think this song should sound, given what Jin was going through. I love that rawness. I love those notes in the beginning, or in the middle. And it's straight and to the point. There's not a lot of fluff. It's 2 minutes and 35 seconds. You know, average song is what, 4 minutes, give or take. Straight and to the point, no fluff. Just right there. Distortion in the beginning, distortion in the end, pain in the middle, but just working through it. Getting out of the abyss, climbing out of it, and then it pulls us back down. That's pretty deep. And that was not an Abyss joke, but it works and I'll take credit. Hmm. I'm probably going to listen to this a few more times. I'm not going to make you sit through that because I just want to kind of get lost in it. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't have much more to say. I'm really just like going through the song again in my head. But this was Abyss by Jin, and I wonder where I'm going to end up next. I really do. Because I feel like there's a rabbit hole a coming. I'm Roscoe, your BTS buddy.